Hey, what's going on YouTube? I'm Doug Dagnabbit from Modern Warzone and ModernWarzone.com, and today we actually have a very special video for you because I was invited to a very exclusive meeting with Activision and some of its top studio directors, franchise directors, and other top creators, and we were allowed to ask questions, and we got new information about what's coming with Warzone Season 2, as well as what's coming with the future of Warzone, as well as some information about the Call of Duty that's going to be releasing at the end of this year, which we all already believe to be Modern Warfare 2, or the sequel to Modern Warfare. So I'm going to get straight into that. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you do, be sure to like. If you're new to the channel, drop a subscription, ring the bell. That way you can always get notified when we have new videos go up. Sorry it's been so long since my last upload. I just haven't been in a great place. So I've kind of taken some time to myself for that. But without further ado, let's get straight into it. So to get things started, one of the first things they showed us was some Season 2 quality of life highlight changes that are coming to Warzone Season 2. We also got a chance to ask questions, like I already mentioned, and some of those questions revolved around Season 2 and fixes for console, etc., etc., but I'll get into that in a little bit. For now, I'm going to go over the Season 2 quality of life highlights that they talked about. And that is starting off with traversal improvements, which is increased mantle height and collision fixes. So that'll make it easier to get around Caldera, climb up some of those rocks that you don't feel like you're currently able to climb up, even though it looks like you should. So that's a good change. Gas mask. The animation won't interrupt a player in ADS, and if you've already checked out the patch notes, I'm sure you already knew that. That's another great change. Armor plates. Refills full plate of armor before feeling damaged. And this was actually a talking point that Huskers brought up during the Q&A and asked why this was something that needed to be fixed now. And they basically, they didn't really answer the question fully. I mean, they attempted to, but basically it just got borked with the coding when it came to transferring the map over to Caldera. But they're getting that fixed for us again. And then the next thing they talked about was vehicles handling and a reduction in collision of world geometry. And I'm hoping this is mainly for Vanguard vehicles because they're the ones that need it the most. Parachute improvements, including being able to deploy them at a lower vertical height, which I've died more on Caldera to breaking my legs than on any of the other maps that I can recall, because sometimes you just cannot pull your parachute. No matter what you do, it will not let you. Restrictions. This is one of the coolest ones that I saw, and I actually got to ask them a question about restrictions. Dead silence and stun grenades are being removed from Vanguard Royale. Now, whenever we read about this in the meeting, I actually asked in the chat, I said, why only Vanguard Royale? Are you guys just using this as a testing phase? To which Eric Beesman responded, and he said that it's because there's all types of different players, and some players prefer to play slower, some players prefer to play faster, some players more prefer the Warzone type of BR experience, whereas some other players more so prefer a traditional BR within Warzone. And it seems like Vanguard Royale is kind of going that way, but then you think like, yo, you guys are adding bomber planes that can destroy loadouts and all this other stuff. I was a bit confused by that, but at the same time, I understand the thought process. So no more stun grenades or dead silence in Vanguard Royale. Next is a stun fix. Aim assist now scales appropriately, and your aim assist won't increase in strength if you're stunned. So that's currently an issue for PC players. PC players who are on mouse and keyboard have noticed that if they get stunned, they have no chance. But if they stun a controller player, the controller player, if they end up aiming at them at any point, can track them the whole time, even when they're stunned. So that's what that fix is talking about. Another good fix. Nerfs is fighter planes and gas canisters. I remember during the meeting, Spiro said, why do we even have gas canisters on the map? They don't really serve a purpose. He never really got that one answered, but expect a nerf to fighter planes and gasoline canisters. There's also a buff coming to the anti-air cannons, which we need if we're going to get a new bomber plane with more health, as well as, I mean, the fighter planes are currently still extremely strong. And then the last one that they talked about coming immediately with Season 2 is Final Circle is less likely to end on peak, and that's wonderful. And then it says, with more to come in Season 2.5, Downed are able to control their resurrect state, prone versus crouched. So right now in Warzone, whenever you are downed and somebody reses you, you always come up in the same position. So it's crouched, I believe. After that update, you should be able to control whether you come out of it crouched or croned or proned or crouched or standing up. That seems to be what that change is about. Here's another one, is that gas mask will now be able to be dropped and picked up by teammates or anybody else, which I think is a cool addition. you should be able to drop stuff like that for your team to use in a strategic situation. And then this is the most interesting one coming with season 2.5, is the armor is being changed to where you can now pick up armor from another armor satchel on the ground. So right now, if you currently have an armor satchel and you kill somebody who has one, well, you just don't get any plates from them because you can't swap out your armor satchel. Well, it looks like they're already trying to change that. So that's it for the season 2 quality of life highlights that they showed us. Now I'm going to move on into something even cooler that they talked about. And it was, where are we today? And in that slide, we got to look at the top live issues that they currently have, which are open issues, which includes console performance and streaming issues. The fix that they have listed for that is ETA Season 2, February 14th. So console players, you have something to rejoice about. Buy station freezes. The fix for that is scheduled for Season 2, which is February 14th. Invisible skins, fix for that is scheduled for Season 2, February 14th. Cross-platform voice chat issues, Season 2. Distorted geo and textures, aka demon guns, like when your gun looks like a freaking demon on your screen. That fix is also for Season 2. Plunder Duo's XP stacking is something they have listed in here. And that kind of makes me sad because it's always worked like that. I don't really think that's a priority for them, but I guess it is. That's probably from the top down, telling them that people are leveling up weapons too fast. Multiplayer DLC 1 uninstallable, blocking premium multiplayer. That is planned to be fixed for Season 2. Exploitable map locations, and that fix ETA is continuous updates. In this, they also talk about some of the recently fixed issues, and some of those include the whitelist error issue that you used to see that like happened to me live on stream and shows your IP address. That's been fixed. Flying cars hack was apparently fixed on January 27th. Max player count deduction due to player disconnects, they fixed that. Well-gun unlock challenges, we all know about that. But then in the top quality of life issues, they still haven't fixed. They kind of revealed some things. I'm not sure if they realized they did about their future plans, but I'm going to go into them. And I must preface this by saying none of this is guaranteed. This is their current working time. Shoot the guy, bro. Hit the... Jesus Christ. Oh, man. These are currently like things that they're planning to be working on and a timetable for the date they think it'll be fixed by. But none of this is concrete, so it could be changed at any time. Armor plate refills, that's scheduled for Season 2. Allow pickup drop armor satchel if already owned. That's scheduled for Season 2. Weapon swapping while looting, scheduled for Season 2. Metaverse update to reflect Season 1 design, Season 2. World traversal issues, fix ETA for Season 3. And it says April in parentheses. Vehicle issues, fix ETA Season 3, April. Improved directional footstep audio. Dr. Disrespect, if you see this, this is for you. They're planning to improve the directional footstep audio during Season 3, which drops in April. Aim assist inconsistency, which I know if you've been playing Caldera, you felt it if you play on controller. Randomly, your aim assist will disappear. That fix ETA is lined up for Season 2, February 14th, so we should be seeing that fixed with the new season. If it's not, I'm sure they'll update us about it. And then an Ascender upgrade, which allows you to attach anywhere. So you could jump off of a building and then attach halfway up the Ascender and come back up. That's how I perceive that. And that fix is scheduled for Season 3 of April. Another interesting thing that we could see here is recently fixed issues. It says cluster strike tracing reliability, and it says will not fix. Not really sure what to make of that one, but that was their where are we today slide. Unfortunately, I'm not allowed to show you guys any of these slides. We're only allowed to record audio and take screenshots for note-taking purposes only. So now we can move on into the next one. And this one was actually probably one of the most interesting of them all. And then I'll finally get to the last one that I'm sure everybody's at this video for. Don't worry, I know what you guys want to hear. And this was our process. This one was very interesting because it was the first chance for us to see like actually how they go about doing things. And we got to see all of their different graphs to show where they're making progress, the positive and negative sentiment around Call of Duty. And I just want to read through some of these at first for you. Because major updates and social interactions drove a large sustained boost in positivity from midweek into the weekend. Positivity, and then they have these changes listed. Loadout change is positive. Swag interaction, Tim the Tatman interaction, Infinity Ward confirmation for COD 2022, Season 2 hype, bug fixes, and updates. Those are all their positivity markers. Negativity, non-specific negativity and frustration, broken game, and then they put underneath it, fix your game. I thought that was really funny. Stuttering packet burst, hit registration, etc. Fix your servers. Object and texture bugs, camo challenge, frustration, miscellaneous bugs and issues. And in this, they actually list the invincibility bug in Warzone, which I don't think a ton of people know about, but it involves having a combat or getting downed while you have a riot shield with a combat bow. And they have that listed. And then they said mixed tone, excitement for COD 2022. The next game typically does generate negativity for previous and current games. So that's interesting to see. And then they also had like graphs that show failure hits, which is how many times each platform crashed over 30 days. And in the first graph is Xbox, and it says 5,110,723 crashes. And you can see the graph goes kind of like down and then flat, and then it goes spiking up around January 30th, and then it goes down again, and then to where we are today, it's extremely downtrending. And then the PC one peaked at around 700,000 crashes like a week after Caldera was released, and then it's been pretty much flatlined since then, not nearly as bad. And it shows the error codes that are being given. And then they have the PlayStation one, which is very interesting because it wasn't crashing bad at all originally. Well, actually it was. So it's a bell curve for the PlayStation one. So it's flat, and then it goes up to where it maxes out at 848,000 crashes a day. They were at over almost at 15% of people playing the game were crashing. And then they got that curve back down, and right now it's at the bottom phase of that. I just thought that was interesting to point out how they have so much data and the way they look at things. But now I'm going to get on to the meat and potatoes and what everybody's been waiting to hear. Let's talk about the next Call of Duty game. Let me get this slide open. Okay. It says, stay frosty in 2022. I'm reading directly off the slide they gave to us. Call of Duty 2022 is a sequel to Modern Warfare 2019. No duh. New game, plus, we're about to start talking Warzone 2 stuff. New game, plus Warzone designed together from the ground up. Massive evolution of BR with an all-new play space and new sandbox mode. And a new engine powering both the new game release and Warzone. Now, we spent a lot of time Q&Aing the devs on this slide, and I want to get into details about some of the things they said, but I think that I need to be a bit careful about that because I want to continue to be invited to these things going forward and be able to ask questions I think are relevant to my community and the overall Warzone community, from casuals to sweats to pro players. I want to be able to be involved with these. I want to be a part of helping the game become better than what it is today. So I'm only going to go over the basic stuff that we just talked about right here. Call of Duty 2022 is a sequel to Modern Warfare 2019. I've been seeing it float around on the internet, that are on Twitter specifically, that we were shown the logo for Modern Warfare 2, as people call it. We don't know for sure if that's the name. That's what I would bet the name is, Modern Warfare 2 with the Roman numerals, like it's been leaked. But there's no full confirmation about that. We did not get to see a Modern Warfare 2 image. We did not get told the name of the game. We kind of got told if we didn't expect it to be a sequel to Modern Warfare 19 that we're kind of dumb. But let's move on to the new game plus Warzone designed together from the ground up and what that really means. To me, that means we're basically going to have an all-new experience. And I do remember that Patrick Kelly, the franchise director, I'll say this because I know I can talk about this. I don't know if I could talk about all the other things they said. I'm going to get further confirmation on those things and then make an entire other video about them, because we got to learn about the history of Warzone being created in the first place. All types of crazy stuff. Patrick Kelly was really talking a lot, and I appreciate that guy. Patrick, if you're listening to this, I respect the hell out of you, bro. I can see the passion you have for the game. And it's a new game plus Warzone designed together from the ground up. And this is actually a really good thing. And it also mentions that the new engine will be powering both the new game release and Warzone, which is also a really good thing. That shows us that they're moving towards next gen, in my opinion. They also mentioned throughout these that there are two major issues that they currently cannot address. And they talked about the FOV slider. They specifically said that we cannot get an FOV slider for old gen consoles because they are not confident that they can maintain a decent frame rate while giving them the option to have an FOV slider like what we're talking about right now. And I fully understand that. That's what everybody's been posturing about. That's what everybody believed to be the case originally anyways. But yeah, that's basically what they said, is that FOV slider cannot happen on last gen consoles, and it won't be happening. So you're going to have to wait until Warzone 2 to get an FOV slider, and it's probably only going to be for next-gen consoles, but they did not confirm that to us. The other thing they talked about is 120 hertz on Xbox Series X, and the reason why that currently isn't happening is both due to Activision and Microsoft. It's work that needs to be done on both of their ends. I do remember writing in my notes that it was something about a GDK versus an SDK, something that they have to use to get approved, and they had to use the one that they weren't planning to use for Warzone, and that completely, like, it doesn't allow 120 hertz on that specific build that they had to push for the Xbox Series X build. I'm not a tech nut, so I'm not exactly the best guy to talk about this, but if you're on Xbox Series X and are wondering why you don't have 120 hertz, you shouldn't just be complaining to Activision, because these guys specifically said that they're on Microsoft's ass about getting this fixed quickly, because they want the Xbox Series X players to be able to play at the best of their ability. So let's get into the new engine powering both new game release and Warzone. Current leaks talk about a DMZ game mode coming to the next Call of Duty game. Current leaks have also waffled back and forth about whether or not it'll be available only on next gen or on last gen as a separate version, or if Warzone will be only next gen. We don't know the answers to any of these questions. We didn't get told the answers to any of these questions today. What I will say is that for them to completely redo Warzone, which is something I didn't think they were ever going to do, I thought it would always be Warzone with small improvements. It shows that they are pushing to push the technology that we have, the hardware we have, even further. One of the things that they said during this is that they realized that the game is so bloated right now, and that a reason for a lot of the issues is how bloated the game is with guns from all different games and coding and all types of different stuff, that it just made it a nightmare to fix bugs and find the bugs themselves. So this is a chance for them to restart on that. But as well, they've also mentioned that they have pushed technology to the limits pretty much with this Warzone build that we're currently on. So they need to start fresh and they need to get it going. We didn't get a confirmation about whether or not Warzone 1, guns, camos, operators, all the things you've spent money and leveled up will transfer to this. My best guess is no. But that's basically what I wanted to cover in today's video. I do have a lot more I want to talk about this, but I want to make sure that I'm not saying anything that's going to get me in trouble immediately. I also wanted to make sure that everything that I said was correct in every possible way, because the last thing I want to do, as much as Patrick Kelly and the other devs were talking and being open with us, it was a legitimate conversation. It wasn't just a hand-picked question. They were pretty much answering what we wanted to be answered, but towards the end of the call, they said we can't talk about all of that because they were just trying to be open and honest with us. So I want to make sure that I can relay that information to you guys, but I want to make sure that I'm also invited to future events for this. But basically what we got is that a confirmation of Call of Duty 2022 is a sequel to Modern Warfare 2019, so Modern Warfare 2 is basically real. We did not get the logo. We got a confirmation of Warzone 2, even though they never specifically listed it as Warzone 2, but we got a confirmation there's a brand new Warzone design together from the ground up with the sequel to Modern Warfare 2019, and this tells me that Bloomberg's original reports that it'll launch in 2023 could still be correct, but it will be Warzone 2 will originally be made to go with Modern Warfare 2022 / Modern Warfare 2, and that makes me really happy, as well as there being a new engine powering both new game release and Warzone. And the last thing I'll leave you guys with is one thing I know I can say from Patrick Kelly, and he said that the new Warzone experience is going to be extremely disruptive, quote. And we asked about that, and I asked him what disruptive means, and he said it doesn't necessarily mean core gameplay elements. It just means I'm going to shake up what you guys have come to get used to, and we're going to change what you define Warzone as. I originally interpreted that as being like extreme changes, but we'll just have to wait and see. So if you guys enjoyed today's video, if you enjoyed the information you learned, be sure to drop a like below. Leave me a comment down below about what you want to know more information on. It was a 2-hour phone call that was only meant to be originally 1 hour. So there's a lot more that I could get into. I just have to make sure that I clear it and make sure I can speak about it. So thank you guys. I appreciate you so much. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Peace.